Welcome to Wisdom of the Bible. Connect with God through our Bible stories. What if I told you the wisest man who ever lived ended his days in complete despair? King Solomon had it all: unmatched wisdom, unimaginable wealth, absolute power. But here's the shocking part: he died saying everything is meaningless. Stay with me, because at minute 12, I'll reveal the one decision that destroyed everything he built. Solomon's story begins with a promise so incredible, it sounds like a fairy tale. He was the son of King David, chosen by God himself to rule Israel. One night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream with an offer that would make anyone's heart race. Ask for whatever you want me to give you. Imagine that moment: unlimited power, endless wealth, eternal life, all within reach. But Solomon's answer shocked everyone. He didn't ask for riches or beg for a long life. "Give me wisdom to lead your people," Solomon prayed. "Help me discern between good and evil." This humble request pleased God so much that he gave Solomon not only wisdom, but also wealth and honor beyond measure. And here's where Solomon's wisdom gets put to the ultimate test. Two women burst into his throne room, both claiming the same baby as their own. No witnesses. No evidence. What Solomon did next became legendary. He called for a sword and declared, "Cut the child in two." But here's the brilliant part: Solomon knew the real mother would rather lose her child than see him harmed. When one woman cried out, "No! Give the baby to her!" Solomon smiled. He'd found the truth. Word of Solomon's wisdom spread like wildfire across ancient kingdoms. Kings and queens traveled thousands of miles just to hear him speak. He wrote 3,000 proverbs and over 1,000 songs. Hold on to that thought, because what happens next will shock you. Solomon's greatest achievement was still ahead: a building project so magnificent it would become one of the wonders of the ancient world. The temple in Jerusalem took 7 years to build. Cedar from Lebanon. Pure gold everywhere. Bronze pillars reaching toward heaven. When the temple was completed, something extraordinary happened. God's presence descended like a cloud, so thick the priests couldn't even stand. Solomon led the nation in prayer, and his words still echo through history. If you're finding this as fascinating as I am, hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Under Solomon's rule, Israel reached heights never seen before or since. Gold poured into Jerusalem, 25 tons every single year. Silver became so common, people considered it worthless. His throne was carved from ivory and overlaid with pure gold. 12 lions stood guard on its steps. Nothing like it existed in any kingdom on earth. The Queen of Sheba, one of the most powerful monarchs in the world, heard the rumors and didn't believe them. She traveled across deserts with hard questions, determined to test this legendary wisdom. When she finally stood in Solomon's court, her breath caught. "I didn't believe the reports," she confessed. "But the reality exceeds everything I heard. Your wisdom and wealth go far beyond the rumors." We're halfway through this incredible journey, and Solomon seems unstoppable. But remember what I said at the beginning? Something devastating is coming. The turning point that changes everything. Solomon began forming alliances with foreign nations, and each alliance was sealed with a marriage. One wife became 10. 10 became 100. Eventually, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Now, you might think, that's just how kings operated back then. But here's what most people miss. God had specifically warned against this very thing. And those warnings were about to become Solomon's nightmare. As Solomon grew older, something sinister began happening. His foreign wives whispered in his ears at night. "Why not honor my gods too?" they would ask. "What harm could it do?" Slowly, almost imperceptibly, Solomon's heart began to shift. The man blessed with divine wisdom started making decisions that contradicted everything he knew to be true. This brings us to the most shocking part of our story. Solomon, the builder of God's temple, began constructing altars to false gods. High places for Ashtoreth. Shrines for Chemosh. sacred spaces for Molech, a deity that demanded child offerings. Before we continue with the most incredible part of this story, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Think about this for a moment. The same man who once prayed the most beautiful prayer of dedication was now bowing before carved statues. God had appeared to Solomon twice, first in a dream, then in Jerusalem. Both times, God warned him, "If you turn away from me, if you worship other gods, I will tear this kingdom apart." But Solomon ignored the warnings. His heart, once fully devoted to God, was now divided among countless idols. God's anger burned against Solomon. Not because God was petty, but because Solomon had thrown away everything. Then came the judgment. God sent word through a prophet, "I will tear the kingdom from your hands. Because of your father David, this won't happen in your lifetime. But your son will lose everything." Can you imagine receiving that message? Everything you built, crumbling. Your legacy, shattered. Solomon began writing his final reflections, and they reveal a man drowning in regret. Meaningless. Meaningless. Solomon wrote, "Everything is meaningless." Solomon sat in his palace, surrounded by gold and treasures, yet feeling emptier than the poorest beggar. Here's the lesson that will transform how you see your own life. Solomon discovered too late that no amount of wealth, wisdom, or pleasure could replace a heart devoted to God. The wisest man who ever lived wrote these words in his last days: "Fear God and keep His commandments." The last day of Solomon's life wasn't marked by celebration. It was marked by deep reflection and overwhelming regret. His story serves as a warning to every one of us who has ever been tempted to compromise our values. The most powerful lesson? It's not how you start that matters. It's how you finish. Think about your own life right now. What choices are you making? What compromises are you accepting? True wisdom isn't found in wealth or status or pleasure. It's found in fearing God and keeping His commandments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep making great content.